I'm not saying nobody should ever come here. I'm saying that this is a great place, is the best country, and it's provided a lot for me and my family. But I also believe there needs to be a proper way to do that, as opposed to just bringing in anyone that decides to want to be here.
That's Alberto Paramo, and he just might be the American dream. The son of illegal immigrants from Mexico, he's successfully built 3 businesses from the ground up. He's a power lifter who enjoys polo, sailing, and the opera. And he recently started a foundation to help young people build a career in the trades. This week, we're talking about immigration, entrepreneurship, and smoking cigars on a pontoon boat on Lake Wallenpaupack here on What is America? Week 14, and I broke my foot. Brian and I were hiking on Mount Hood, and I wasn't wearing the right kind of shoes. Turns out, they make hiking boots for a reason. They're not the same thing as sneakers. We were coming down the mountain, I was staring out at the horizon, and I rolled my left foot. I heard a loud snap. That part was no fun, but you know what was even less fun? Hiking out the last 2 miles. Woof. I'm John, and this is What is America? It's a podcast in which I drive all over the country and talk to people about their lives. Together, we're figuring out the news story of America, who we are, what we stand for, and what we're building toward as a nation. I just wrapped up a month in Caldwell, Kansas, and now I'm here in Portland, Oregon. To learn more about our itinerary and stay connected, visit our website, whatisamericapodcast.com. So it's been an interesting time in America. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. A couple of weeks ago, Charlie Kirk got killed. And that's not okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of Charlie Kirk, but nobody deserves to get shot for expressing their views. This is America. We have freedom of speech. It's literally the first thing they put in the Constitution. Since it happened, I've seen a lot of really awful stuff on social media and the news. Maybe you have too. People on both sides seem to want to use the murder to fan the flames of the culture war, to get us angry at each other and keep us angry. This is not good. We are not each other's enemy. Call me old-fashioned, but I still think we have way more in common than separates us. And we need to come together if we're going to solve any of the big problems that are in front of us. George W. Bush put out a beautiful statement after Charlie Kirk was killed. I'm going to read it, and then we can talk about this week's interview. Today, a young man was murdered in cold blood while expressing his political views. It happened on a college campus where the open exchange of opposing ideas should be sacrosanct. Violence and vitriol must be purged from the public square. Members of other political parties are not our enemies. They are our fellow citizens. May God bless Charlie Kirk and his family, and may God guide America toward civility. Okay, let's talk about the interview. If I asked you what the last election was about, what would you say? Like, what was on people's minds? What were they deciding based on? If you'd asked me back in November, I think I would have said the economy. Because it's the economy, right? What was it Bill Clinton used to say? It's the economy, stupid. But now I'm starting to wonder. Because actually, if you take out tariffs, I don't think there's that much difference between the economic policies of Biden and Trump. These graphs are from The Economist magazine. Since the start of Trump's second term, inflation is about the same. The dollar is down. The stock market is up, but not as much as under Obama and Biden. Consumer sentiment is down. So, if it's not the economy, what were people voting for? Or against? More and more, I'm starting to think the answer is immigration, because it's come up in just about every interview I've done. Which brings us to today. Alberto Paramo is an inspiring guy. The first thing you notice about him is that he's ripped. He doesn't flaunt it, but he's a powerlifter. Underneath that tailored shirt, he's hiding some serious muscles. Alberto has built himself up from humble roots. The son of illegal immigrants from Mexico, he had to drop out of college to help his parents pay the bills. Since then, he's started 3 successful companies: a landscaping business, a real estate holding company, and a home renovation business. He's also started a foundation to help young people build a career in the trades. You'll hear more about that during the interview. So, I wasn't expecting this to happen. I posted a short video of Alberto on TikTok as a way to get people excited about the interview. In it, he talks about how he voted for Trump and how immigration was his key issue. Here's the video.
I voted for Donald Trump.
And why did you cast that vote?
I voted for him the first election, the second time he ran, and again, third time. Even though he lost the last one, but I still...
In terms of policy, what were you gravitating toward?
I was really focused on the immigration part, believe it or not.
So tell me about your stance on immigration.
From my heritage, my Mexican-American heritage, immigration is very important to me. It's been very important to our family. The misconception we have with immigration is that we should just let everybody in, right? But I also believe there needs to be a proper way to do that, as opposed to just bringing in anyone that decides to want to be here.
Who'd you vote for? Across the different social platforms, the video got more than 400,000 views and 4,000 comments. People shared their own immigration stories. They talked about the general amnesty under Reagan and how that changed the game for a generation of immigrants. But there was also a lot of name calling. Like, a lot. It got pretty bad. So, is immigration actually what the last election was about? And is somebody like Alberto allowed to hold these views? Just saying. Every wave of American immigrants has ended up feeling more or less the same way to those who come after them. And if Alberto were white, nobody would bat an eye at his views on immigration. Here's what I'm asking myself. In the face of such intense emotion and strongly held beliefs, can we still find a middle way? Check out the interview and let me know what you think in the comments.
My name's Alberto Paramo. I live in Scranton, PA. I am a local business owner, local friend of the town, local socialite. I have to cut that part.
So tell me about this beautiful place where we are right now.
This is the Scranton Club, historic Scranton Club.
Okay.
It's a beautiful members club. This is a place where people come and relax.
Absolutely gorgeous.
People come and relax. They can be their true selves. Very honest, humble people come here.
Yeah.
And we all enjoy good cigars, great cocktails.
You can't smell it, but there's a wonderful cigar smoke smell just around.
Everyone has their events here. I have my annual Sinatra party here.
Oh.
Black tie cocktail party.
Do you sing?
I don't. I have.
Oh.
I get singers and a jazz band. It's fully catered. It's a great party. A fundraiser again for the foundation.
Wonderful.
So this is an annual. This year's will be the 5th year, so it'll be big. Mm-hmm.
When's the party?
December, 3rd week of December.
Okay, I'll be in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, you're more than welcome to come.
I'm sorry I can't join. I know you were gonna send me an invitation.
You look great in a tuxedo. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be perfect.
Yeah. So you grew up in Los Angeles.
I grew up in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
We moved to Scranton when I was 12.
Okay.
My father chose to look at the surroundings we had and the surroundings that were going to be provided to me as a middle school student, which were 40-foot fence around elementary schools and middle schools in that area, which were Los Angeles Police Department at the middle school, metal detectors at the middle school, no dress code, graffiti, gangs. That was the environment we were walking into in middle school, granted.
Like middle schoolers with like
schools,
barbed
yes.
wire fences and gangs and graffiti.
Correct. Now, the big change was after we took our trip and visited all the schools, he made some calls to family we have in Scranton, Hoboken, Ithaca, and I believe Syracuse at the time. He visited all the places and he fell in love with Scranton. You know, everyone that comes here likes it or doesn't like it, but I think for the most part, everybody really loves it here.
What did he love about it?
In 2000, he loved, I would say, the peace and serenity it had, and had a lot of greenery, which is rare for Los Angeles and natural for Scranton. So you're living in a concrete place and you're moving to a new place that's green, flowers are blooming everywhere, kids are playing on the street, other kids are riding bikes. It almost looked like a movie.
I was thinking that. It sounds like a TV show.
Yeah, where you like Stand By Me or any of the other
like The Sandlot.
Right,
something.
The Sandlot. Yeah. Yes, that's what it in 2000. That's what it pretty much was like here. Super welcoming for us. He loved Lake Scranton. He walked around, and the family we had here made sure to take him to all of the super greenery, nice trails and bike rides and the mountains. And he's like, "This is amazing. This is great." And then when he flew back to Los Angeles, he was like, "Oh, this place sucks." You know, it's like there's cars broken down on the street. There's people selling drugs everywhere. So he made the big decision and life-changing decision for everybody to pack up, and we're going to move to Scranton. That was our big move.
So for your family, Scranton was the American dream.
Scranton was the opportunity that I think it became the American dream. But that also took his ability to recognize that and create an action.
And tell me about your parents.
So my parents are both Mexican. My dad's very hardworking. He's a role model of mine. He is one of the strongest people I know. He's worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs since I've known him, right? So the big thing for him is how much more can I provide for my family, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to make that happen. And my mother is the most nurturing person, very giving, very selfless. She's worked a lot as well growing up. Everybody had 2 jobs. This was a norm. If you wanted to make sure you had food and clothes for your children, you worked 2 jobs.
Okay.
Minimum. And she was the kind of person that never complained about anything. She is always looking forward and always staying positive, and her main objective is to make everyone around her feel comfortable and loved.
Talk to me about the values that you got from your parents and that maybe you want to pass on to your kids.
Some of these strong values are really believing in yourself, making sure everyone around you is taken care of, which is your family, of course, that inner circle, that immediate bond you have with your spouse or children that you're going to be bringing up, and be selfless in a way where not only are you making sure you're providing for your own self, but you're leaving room for other people.
Wow.
And you're leaving room for the teaching and the nurturing part, not only for your friends, but acquaintances as well, because I think everybody needs to learn something from somebody else. And one of the major things I took from my father is you always want to measure your success by your ability to help others, which is the way I live my life now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody is going to ask me, is he single?
Who? Oh, yes, I'm single right now.
Okay.
And that is
seeing anyone?
Not now. It's a product of a lot of work that I do.
Okay.
And not being able to make a 6:30 dinner reservation.
Got it.
Because
so relatable.
You're working a lot. You're focused on growing 3 businesses.
Yeah.
You're focused on meeting with possible donors for a foundation. And I'm sorry I can't meet your mom at 6:30 at dinner. I have to drive back an hour from somewhere else.
Okay, for when you get back into dating, do you have a type?
My type is not so much physical as opposed to personality.
Okay.
Someone who is nurturing, caring, loving, adoring, sincere, generous.
Wow.
Selfless is the big one. And really centered in their own selves. Someone who's not insecure, but somebody who is fully self-aware is the big one.
It seems like really you're secure in yourself, and so
I know
you want
exactly who
like
I am. Yes.
That, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like to have fun?
I'd love to have fun.
What do you do for fun?
Okay, so for fun, when I'm not working and reading emails and
which is super fun,
which is great.
Yeah.
I love that. I enjoy horseback riding, practicing polo, sailing.
Wow.
And I've practiced fencing, not so much recently because
Bougie.
of work, but it's
These
some
are
of the
very
things
expensive hobbies.
they could add up if you do them all at once. But
Yeah.
if you're doing one thing at a time, there's lots of time to do all
Okay.
kinds of things. I also enjoy going to the opera, the ballet, museums.
Wow.
I enjoy,
So cultured. Favorite opera?
I would say Don Giovanni.
Ah,
For
beautiful.
unrelated reasons.
Mozart.
Right. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I love Mozart.
Do you sing?
I don't sing. No.
What do you have for breakfast in the morning?
For breakfast, I have 5 eggs, sausage or bacon, an orange or a cantaloupe, and a protein shake.
Congrats. You win the prize. That's the biggest breakfast of anybody that's ever been on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, again, I power lift,
Like
so
one
I can
girl
eat it.
eats lentils for breakfast.
That's not enough. I would pass out, I think, if I had lentils.
Okay.
I need a lot of food.
How much time does it take you to prepare and eat that breakfast?
About 30 minutes,
Okay.
I would say. Yeah, I'm eating it out the door.
And
pretty
after
much.
you finish that breakfast, how do you feel?
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm not half asleep. I'm ready to roll out the door and get the day started.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have enough energy to do anything.
Okay, so let's roll right out the door.
Mhm.
What kind of car do you drive?
Okay, so I have truck,
What kind of truck?
Ford F-250.
That's the right kind of truck.
Yeah, that's one of the work trucks.
Yeah.
But I also have which is my weekend car, a vintage 1976 hardtop convertible 450 SL Mercedes.
That's so cool.
And that's what I drive to the lake when I have some free time.
I can picture that car.
Yeah, I almost
Okay.
brought it today, but it was raining.
But those are the coolest.
Yeah, I have a pontoon up in Lake Wallenpaupack.
Wow.
So on the weekends when it's nice, I drive it up to Lake Wallenpaupack, top down. It's a 40-minute drive, the wind, cassette player, so I put classical music or an opera
Okay.
on.
So there's you. Who's in that passenger seat, though?
It's either my parents' dog or I'll bring a date or it's
Okay.
just me and next to me is a book
I mean,
and
that
cigars.
sounds... I grew up on pontoon boats.
Mm,
That sounds super fun.
yeah.
We used to call it the party barge.
Yeah, it's a party boat. It's a good
Yeah.
time. But it also just becomes sometimes a mobile office where I drive it up there. I drive the car up there.
Yeah.
I sit on the boat, smoke cigars, go over a spreadsheet, go over specs.
It just goes down
Read
easier
read a book. Yeah.
when you're floating.
Right.
Yeah.
And you get the distraction of just looking at the water and everything looks amazing.
Yeah. Talk to me about your own education.
Okay. So I went to South Intermediate,
Uh-huh.
which is when we first moved here. Then I moved on to Scranton High School. And after Scranton High, I went to Lackawanna College,
Okay.
which is a street over from here.
Okay.
Right.
I think I saw it. I
Yes,
saw it
yes.
driving up.
So I went to Lackawanna College. Unfortunately, I was not able to finish Lackawanna College because reflecting back when my parents had to work several jobs,
Uh-huh.
we just moved here and they bought a house. So I had to contribute my part. I have 2 younger siblings, so
Okay.
I had to also take on full-time work.
Wow.
So this is, again, part of the reasoning why I want to give someone the option to say, you don't have to do that. Here's
Yeah.
a scholarship, and here's the other route, which is a trades. Let's.
Yeah. Well, it's like Bill Gates didn't finish college.
Mm,
Steve Jobs didn't finish college. I'm trying to think of some of these other famous founders who like dropped out.
yeah,
And then like also you.
yeah,
So you have started several businesses.
correct.
And tell me about your businesses.
So I have a realty holdings company where we buy and lease apartments and homes. I have a facility management company where we come in, remodel, do flooring, painting, all sorts of interior work. I also have a landscape and design company where we do the exterior, which is new landscape installs, concrete, retaining walls, pavers, and the foundation, which is the big Paramo Foundation, which is to supplement scholarships for trades.
I want to start small.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the first company, right? And like, it's like that activation energy. How do you start your first company? How did you start your first company?
I worked for somebody that was doing landscaping, and the step needed was the change in mindset where I could be doing this on my own, and my father is also doing this. We could be doing this on our own. Now, how do I write a business plan? How do I create this? Ask anyone you know, ask an attorney, any friends you have, but you want to create the business plan.
Business plan.
You want to get a good attorney, right? Because there's legal things you need to do, which is the LLC.
Great.
Get your general liability
You're
insurance.
speaking to an LLC.
Yeah.
Boldly Go Media.
Love that. It's great.
Yeah.
Licensing, insurance, workers' comp, all of this comes afterwards. But the big thing is you want to create an LLC, which forms your own identity as a company.
Who was your first customer?
First customer was a referral from a friend.
Okay.
But you could start in your own neighborhood.
Okay.
There's lawns everywhere. So this is also the misconception is like, I need to drive 30 minutes away to get my first job. No, you can just ask 3, 4, 5 of the neighbors, and if one of them says yes, now you can cut his grass every week.
Okay, so, and this is you and your dad. You got the equipment. You became an LLC. You got your first customer. Now get me from there when you're basically a newborn baby business to like now you have 3 businesses and a foundation, small empire here in Scranton. Like, how do you scale from there to here?
Well, it's been about 11 years, but 11 years have went by really quick. Now it's a progress.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
37. So this started when you were 26?
Yeah.
26. Okay. That's very young to start your first business.
Right. But it's something that anyone could just start an LLC online and you technically started something, right? Now, from the beginning till now, there's been a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes, a lot of questions being asked, a lot of research.
Sure.
And a lot of luck.
Okay.
But the luck is if you're working really hard and providing a great service, people are going to recognize that.
Yeah. What do you think separates a good business from a great business?
Okay. One of the major factors is the commitment. Not so much the hours you're outside laying bricks or pouring concrete. It's the commitment you have to when you get home, open the laptop, start doing marketing online, stay on track of every invoice, payment you're getting, make sure you talk to your attorney and file everything correctly.
Yep.
Get a good accountant. But the big separation is how committed are you to working where you're not supposed to be working? And that, again, means networking, socializing, creating rapport with new customers or somebody who's going to give you an opportunity to commercial business. It's being personable, but also being unafraid to fully dive into what your new venture is. Because if you're doing it at 50%, you're never going to get anything out of it. You have to be completely 100% on it. Dive into everything. This is what I do. Whenever I start something, I completely dive in.
So no backup plan. You're like, if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's a good point because I don't think I've created a backup plan for a lot of things I've done.
Yeah.
Because I know this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this.
So it's just certainty.
It's full certainty, full commitment.
So you didn't even think about backup plan until I just said it.
Yeah. There wasn't anything that, if this doesn't work out, I guess I'll go punch numbers on a keyboard. It's just, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is now my identity, but I've never thought of a different route if this isn't going to work out because that already gives me a way out. That's already given me an exit strategy before I even start and venture into the new project that I want.
And you're saying, don't waste your time, right? Like, don't go there planning an exit strategy. You're either doing this or you're not.
Right. If you're spending so much time on the backup plan, how much time are you really spending on the actual plan?
Wow. Tell me about the foundation that you started.
So this is the Paramo Foundation, and its mission is to give a scholarship to low-income students in Lackawanna County, Scranton. We're going to be expanding within the next few years, and that is to provide them a scholarship to attend a trades college. So fully supporting the trades, supporting returning active military by giving them a supplemental scholarship as well if they're interested in pursuing a trades college.
Wow.
And a supplemental scholarship to cosmetology programs, which I believe are a forgotten trade. We all get our hair cut, we all get groomed, we all look nice, but these are also students.
I love that you didn't leave cosmetology out of it.
They're also a trade that can't be forgotten. I have friends who are beauticians and barbers, and I want to fully support all these students, give them the option and give them the light to say there's another route to success, which is the trades. And you could be super successful as long as you're willing to put in the work for that.
So I think the trades are so cool. And like, obviously you're passionate about this. Like, what drew you to start this particular foundation to like help kids find this path in life?
So growing up, I always was pushed with the idea that the 4-year university college route is the only route if you're wanting to be a successful individual and create a life. That's the only way you could do it, you have to go to college. And if you can't go to college, you're almost a failure, right? And the failures and the people who can't make it in college, they go to trades, right?
So that's the narrative.
The big narrative, which is why I want to change that now with what I'm doing with all the 3 businesses and supplementing this foundation. But I want to shed the light and to, again, say that there is another route. This is the better route. It changed me and it got me involved by starting my 3 businesses. They're all trades related. Everything I do is in the trades. I run an excavator, run a skid steer. I'll cut grass.
Yeah.
But also wear a tuxedo for galas and fundraisers, right? So I want to change the perception of when I grew up having friends, parents who were in the trades, you know, the heavy set guy who doesn't do anything, that just kind of looks like a bum, that's a carpenter. Or that's the plumber guy, the typical cartoony plumber.
And it doesn't have to be like that.
It doesn't have to be like that.
Like the plumber can go to the opera.
Right, exactly. We could all be doing all sorts of things. And our careers really don't identify us. That's where I want to change everything, is that you are your own individual self, but also choose this career path that has tons of success and options in it.
Hey, me again. Okay, having a broken foot is a bummer, but one upside is that I've been able to stay inside and work on my sideline as a stand-up comic. Want to hear one of my jokes? Why can't podcast hosts get x-rays? Because our insurance doesn't cover it. I kid. I don't have insurance. But if you want to ensure that this little beacon of free speech keeps on shining, you know what you could do? You could smash that subscribe button. Heck, while you're down there, you could even throw me a comment or a like. Okay, back to the interview.
I think before we go on, we're joined at the table by President Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
You said that Lincoln is your favorite president.
He is my favorite president, yeah.
What about him do you particularly admire?
How driven he was, his open-mindedness, his being progressive towards all sorts of ideas that were contrary to the norm at the time, and the ability to be welcoming to his rivals and bringing him on his team.
Wow. Did you read that book by Doris Kearns Goodwin?
Yeah, I read that. So that's, again, one of the main ideas is to be able to be bipartisan on a lot of topics, listen to all sorts of positive and negative feedback, and let that make you a better president or person, right?
Yeah.
But how can we do that if we're not open to these things, right? We should be able to be very open, willing to learn, and that's only going to make you stronger and better and more efficient at what you're doing.
Open-mindedness, progressiveness.
Yes.
I love it. This is actually a natural segue to the election.
Okay.
Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Donald Trump.
And why did you cast that vote?
I voted for him the first election, the second time he ran, and again, the third time, even though he lost the last one, but I still
in terms
have the
of
support.
policy, what were you gravitating toward?
I was really focused on the immigration part, believe it or not. That was the big one for me. I know from my heritage, my Mexican-American heritage, is that immigration is very important to me. It's been very important to our family. It's been very important to everybody around us. Now, the misconception we have with immigration, in my belief, is that we should just let everybody in, right? We should be this hub of refuge. But I also believe there needs to be a proper way to do that, as opposed to just bringing in anyone that decides to want to be here. We could do a lot for the people that are currently here, because there's a lot of people who aren't citizens that have been here for many years, which is why they did the DACA program and everything. So now we're I won't say segregating, but we're separating this population of people who have been here for a long time and not doing anything for them, but we're opening up for new people to come here. So what could we be doing for the people that are here as opposed to just letting everyone in? And now the problem with that would have been is when it currently is we intermingled everybody now. So now it's like, how long have you been here? Are you new? And then everybody's getting taken out now. Deportations is more.
And what do you think about that?
Well, that's the problem is that for so many years, for 8 years and 4 years when Trump was in, and another, years, we didn't do anything for them. And the DACA program started, was very limited, very slow. It was a small step towards progress, but not really progress. It was more for the votes.
Okay.
So that we've been dangled this carrot for a long time that there's going to be something done for the
people
immigrants
who've been here for a long time.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you keep voting for us, right? If you keep voting for us, we're going to do something for you guys.
Are you talking about the Democrats or the Republicans?
The Democrats,
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So again, it's a lot of my family's Democrat, but their
So
key
Democrats
issue,
talk about helping this group but never get around to it.
it's a good talking point.
Yeah.
It's if you do this for us, we could do this for you. But it's
And Republicans say what? What do they say that as opposed to that?
Well, as opposed to that, we want to close our borders, have them secure. And that's always been a sticking point where we can't get past one conversation to create another conversation. And there's also not a lot of bipartisanship where we can discuss openly like a more modern DACA program.
Sure.
Because our current politics, in my own belief, is very tribe-minded, where if you're not aligned with what I have to say, far left, center right, far right, then you're not on our side.
If you were going to summarize your stance on immigration, like crystallize it, what would you say?
It's a great question. I would say we need to have secure borders and create an effective path towards citizenship, which would benefit our country.
Yeah.
Being a bipartisan issue, not a party issue.
Yeah.
That's the bigger, because we would all benefit.
Tell me the story of your family's immigration.
Okay. My parents, they met in Los Angeles. Not exactly sure the year, but I know both came in the early 80s. And from Mexico to Los Angeles. So they were here. And at the time they came illegally, right? And they started working hard. And they met people who said, hey, this is a thing you should be doing, which is creating a path towards citizenship.
Okay.
So here's a process. And through having great friendships, they said, this is a good attorney. You got to pay taxes, and this is what you have to do. But at the time in the 80s, I'm sure it was a lot easier than it is now. But once you create this, I guess, path, which they took, listening to their friends, were like, oh, okay, we should do this. We should, because, And then once they got their Social Security and their citizenship, they're very happy people. But initially they came here illegally, and then they became citizens here.
And if they came today, do you think, first of all, they'd be able to get in, or second of all, they'd be able to follow that same path and become citizens?
Well, I think we've morphed in our politics and our route towards citizenship, which is, again, why I believe we should have that bipartisan new path created for it. But if they came here now, I believe that as everybody from Central America has recently come here, and other Mexican families have also come here, it's going to be very difficult to become a citizen because of the previous open border policy. Now that's going to be very different with President Trump being in, but there is a route you could take. You do apply while you're here. It's just going to be a lot longer process now.
Okay.
If you're doing everything right and not committing crimes and staying in a positive route and paying taxes and having a job you could really, really keep a record of.
So with people in Mexico and Latin America, do you think that they should come here or should not?
Well, I think that if they want to be here, I think there's routes you could take to be here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying nobody should ever come here. I'm saying that this is a great place, is the best country, and it's provided a lot for me and my family. And I think everybody should have that opportunity, but I think it should be approached with modern times, which is really, again, creating that new path, a bipartisan path towards citizenship, which allows other countries to apply for this. People who are currently here being given that option first.
And I appreciate you being so willing to talk about it, because it feels like sometimes you can't even bring it up.
Right.
Like people get so tight.
Yeah.
Why do you think we get so emotional about this issue?
Because we want to be right.
Say more.
Whenever our opinions touch on pro-life, pro-choice, immigration, closed border, open border, we want to be right. Or we want to be told we're on the right page.
Okay.
We're smart, right? But it's okay to be a little bit ignorant of a certain topic, and it's okay to pick something new up, which might change your opinion later down the road.
Yeah.
But I think we also need to be more open and fragile towards the idea of maybe there's a bigger discussion to be had where I might be wrong half the time, but I could walk away learning a lot more because I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because now you've enlightened me in a different way, where before I was, oh man, this is the way I'm thinking, but like, what about this whole other side?
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I approach politics, is our ability to being so open, and our option to be incorrect in all sorts of topics, because it is a way philosophy.
That's something you almost never hear in politics, is just the openness to learning something, to being wrong even.
Correct.
You told me that you've lost relationships.
Yes.
Based on politics.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I'll give you an example. I've had a friend who I've watched all the elections with since Obama twice, and up until this past election, which we missed. We never missed an election together. And this person contacted me. Well, they saw my pictures on GOP events and Republican events, and said, "How could you support such a person? This is awful. The world's going to end. This is not what democracy stands for." And what happened was, this person stated that we can no longer be friends. You're so close-minded as a person. You're such a negative individual, and you're against. And my automatic support for someone told this individual directly that I'm against all kinds of people, labeled people with, immigration and whatever category you want to put these people in. But that automatically gave me this is who you are. This is your identity now. Like, you're that bad guy. So I can't be friends with you. And I said, well, you've known me since like 9th grade. I have friends in all kinds of circles, and who are, trans, LGBTQ, and legal or illegal. I friends with everybody. You know this. I've known you forever. Yeah, but no. But now it means that you're like against them. It's like, okay, I understand. Totally get it. She's like, well, aren't you going to fight? I'm like, no, why would I fight you? You made your opinion, and I fully support you, and you have that right to choose your circle of friends, and you have your own opinions on politics as well. Again, we choose those two boxes, and she chose one box, which is always her winning side, and I supported her. We need to cut that her part. But yeah, I've always supported this person.
Yeah.
But then again, because the side I was voting for was winning and won.
So you have been friends with this person for how long?
Since 2002, possibly 2002.
So that's 20 years?
Yeah.
And now you don't speak?
No, we don't. It's blocked on everything. Don't speak. Yeah.
I want to talk about your options politically. How do you feel? Because basically we've got two options. We've got red and we've got blue.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about your options?
As a voter?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fully supportive of the Republican Party, but the main thing we need to bring together is the bipartisanship part,
Huh.
which again goes this wide net of ideas that we have as a country as a whole,
Yeah.
and it's trickled down, unfortunately, to one or two boxes, right?
Yeah.
So we've created so much separation that there's no middle in that Venn diagram, if you want to picture it that way. There's no
Yeah.
center point. And our political options really, again, goes down to the one or two issue that you truly believe in. But having a third party that's taken seriously might be a good idea, not because it's going to take away from big Republican or big Democrat machine voting. I think it's going to be more of a opportunity for somebody who's bright and up and coming and not part of the machine, and
Right.
something that we could essentially learn from and say, okay, now we need to take this seriously because there's a seriously third strong candidate.
So you think
coming
a
in.
third party would strengthen even our two existing options?
I think it would challenge us more.
Yeah.
It would challenge us more because we're so worried about somebody taking votes away from this party as opposed to really putting the best person up
Well, like
for your party.
when you asked people, what do they care about politically?
Mm.
What they say is the cost of groceries, and I can't afford housing, and I can't afford health care.
Right.
And actually, neither party has a plan to address these things.
Right.
There's no plan.
Right.
And like when I say, how do you feel about your options? I think most people would say, oh, the things that I care about most are not even on the table being discussed.
Right. Right. Because we have our hot topics, our key sticking points.
Because we got to talk about trans people in the NCAA.
Mm.
And there are 10 trans people in the NCAA, an organization of 50,000 people. Like, I think we end up wasting a lot of our time on issues that actually don't matter that much to people.
Mm. Yeah, that's again part of our sticking points, which I mentioned earlier, was that it has to be this conversation,
Right.
right? Because that's going to be hot. It's going to get views or
Yeah.
clicks on it.
Yeah.
And everything else falls by the wayside, which could be, trans people or any other topic as groceries. But
I
if
mean,
we're-
like, I think trans people in the NCAA is like, should be taking up 0 minutes of airtime. I think that like the affordability of groceries
Mhm,
should be taking up most of the minutes
mhm.
because like people can't afford even a minimal quality of life.
Right. Right. And if part of that, I think, needs to be our responsibility as a voter to not only bring this up politically, but create action locally, which is another big thing too.
Okay.
Because these are the people we elect.
What does that look like?
Being more informed locally, creating energy and, in a way, positive reinforcement for local voters to show up. In a, I want to say 6 p.m. voting, local election, I might be number 75 or 80. In a presidential election, I might be number 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 around the same time. So we need to create that buzz that local politics do matter.
But if things like housing affordability
Mhm.
and healthcare affordability aren't even on the ballot, what then?
Well, I think that, again, that's our responsibility to make these conversations happen because we are the voters. We are the people electing so-and-so in office. And they're a reflection of us.
Yeah.
They are a reflection of us. I still know people to this day who aren't registered to vote, but they're the biggest complainers. They have the biggest opinions and they have the biggest soapboxes,
Yeah.
but they are not registered. They don't vote.
So you say that we get the politics that we deserve.
We get the politics we allow them to give us because we don't stand our ground and project exactly what we want from our leaders.
So something that you said to me, which was very exciting, is that you are considering running for office.
I am considering running for office. This
And-
is in the making.
Right. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be next year.
This is in the
But you
making.
said it's just on your mind.
Yes.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And talk to me about why you're thinking about taking this path.
One of the main reasons I'm considering taking this path is because creating action. We can have all the discussions in the world and we could win or lose debates and conversations, but are we actually doing anything?
Yeah.
Are we going to run for office someday? Or are we going to sit back on a recliner and have consistent conversations about how bad our town or country or state is? Or are we going to actually give it a shot and do our best and put our best foot forward and change as many local lives or state lives or national lives, whatever you choose to run for someday? But it also needs to be on your part, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I want to do something about it.
What would you be hoping to accomplish?
Depending on the landing spot, again, I would want to create immediate action towards bettering our schools. We had some closed down in Scranton, and they're on the fence of closing possibly more. Securing education, again, that's my big thing. Is for
You're an education guy.
It's our low income people that are suffering, and I want to be able to provide a good, strong base for that, because being well rounded is going to supplement our community. It's going to make people want to stay here in Scranton, grow Scranton. Statewide, it's going to do a lot more, but again, that's also pending on what position in the future.
Okay.
But the action created is
Put me on your email list. Sign me up.
The action created is more of an inspiration and action of solidifying our structures in Scranton, our education based, and being able to not only supplement everything we're currently doing now, but being able to bring other people in here, more people in here.
Wow.
This is a great city. It's a great town.
I agree.
I love this place.
Yeah. I have loved spending time.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
The next big thing for me is growing the foundation as much as I can, along with the businesses, of course. Shaking a high school student's hand and giving them a scholarship. And that's hopefully 2026 coming. And running for political office after that in a few years. That's the next big move.
4th of July is right around the corner.
4th of July.
Any plans for the 4th?
If I don't go to my boat on Lake Wallenpaupack, I'll be in the Hamptons. And if I'm not in the Hamptons, I might be here in Scranton.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grilling or?
Oh, at the lake or? Yeah, at the lake, I'll be on the pontoon grilling. If not, we'll be here in Scranton grilling at my parents.
Okay.
Spending time with them.
What do you like to grill?
Burgers, bison.
Burgers.
You get great bison burgers here.
Woo!
There's a farm up in Lake Ariel where they sell them.
That sounds so good.
It's great. It's like tons of protein. Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank
Alberto,
you.
This was
great.
An amazing
Absolutely.
Conversation.
Thank you.
I'll be honest. Immigration is a hard one for me. It's an area where the facts and how we feel about the facts have very little to do with each other. If you're going by the data, immigration, both legal and illegal, is good for America. Over the next 10 years, immigrants are projected to add 2 percentage points to the GDP. Compared with native-born citizens, they're half as likely to commit a crime and twice as likely to start a business. Did you know this? Over the course of a lifetime, the average U.S. immigrant pays more in taxes than they consume in services. To be precise, the average immigrant reduces the federal budget deficit by $10,000, whereas the average native-born citizen, like me, increases it by $250,000. And yet, when I've spoken with people about this issue, just generally, they don't like it. They think immigrants are committing crimes and living off the system, taking our jobs and lowering our wages. It may not be what the data says, but it's how many people feel. Still, my conversation with Alberto gives me some hope. In a political arena where it feels like everyone is shouting, he has a nuanced and thoughtful take on immigration. We need to enforce the rules that we've set and ensure that people are coming here legally. We also need to create a bipartisan path to citizenship for folks who are already here, paying taxes and supporting their communities. Call me crazy, but that actually sounds pretty reasonable to me. Sounds like a framework that maybe 70 or 80% of Americans could get behind. Another thing I love about Alberto is his openness, his willingness to learn, even be wrong. When was the last time you heard somebody say that? Much less someone who aspires to be an elected leader. I may be wrong. I am open to learning. Fun fact, Alberto actually predicted that he would get canceled on social media. We talked about it. And he decided to do the podcast anyway. Because that's what it's going to take to break through our current political stalemate and find a way forward. We have to be brave. We have to say what's in our hearts. Thanks, Alberto. Okay, question. If your kid gets straight A's at school and you tell people about it, does that count as bragging? What if it's your car? Because this is true. I've logged over 10,000 miles on the journey so far, so I took Alexia in for a routine checkup. And I've got the report card right here, and don't hate me. It's straight A's. Spark plugs, brake fluid, power steering. Apparently the mechanic thinks Alexia is some kind of genius. I told him grades aren't everything, but he won't stop getting A's. I don't know where he gets it. Certainly not from me. Before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to two people who've helped me out along the way. This week, it's my friends Carrie Cutler and Tyson Webster. Formerly Oakland hipsters, they now live in a beautiful old farmhouse in Caldwell, Kansas, where I spent the last month. Carrie and Tyson helped me figure out what's so wonderful about Caldwell and introduced me to many of their friends. We stayed up late, drank some homemade apple cider and whiskey, and went deep on America. Thanks, guys. If you want to stay connected and come along for the journey, the best thing you can do is subscribe to our newsletter. It's basically my shower thoughts, as well as links to the latest podcast episode. Go to whatisamericapodcast.com and enter your email. If you're trying to follow me on social, I'm at What Is America Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. No, really. Thanks to Alberto, we've got more than 1 million views on our TikTok channel. Finally, if you're hiking and need to keep your eyes on the trail, you can find the audio edition of this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and say it with me, wherever you get your podcasts. Next week is another week, and tuck in your shirt because we're going back to school. Our next guest, Emily Karam, runs an orthodontics practice with her husband in Abingdon Heights outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Emily Karam. I live in Waverly, Pennsylvania, and I'm a mom of 4 boys.
She was concerned about her kids' school, so she decided to run for school board. And then the culture war came to town. Find out what happened in her unexpectedly expensive and bitterly contested race in our next episode. Until then, I'll leave you with the Gandhi quote that launched this whole crazy adventure. The act may seem small, but it's important that you do it. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'll see you soon.